audio playing, but I think we're good. And can everybody hear me now? Hopefully, we're ready to rock. So I am Scott Touchman. If we have never met, it is my pleasure. We are excited. I am dialing in remotely from beautiful Dallas, Texas, and excited to get started for the July town hall. Everybody, go ahead and buckle your seatbelts now. There's a lot of information about to come at you. If you are brand new here, if this is your first Connect call ever, or one of your first Connect calls, it's okay. Like, you're going to be overwhelmed with information. I don't want you to feel lost. I don't want you to get frustrated. Just know that we are a fast moving organization, and there's just going to be, like I said, there's going to be like a recap today of the 2025 so far, and it's just going to be an overwhelming amount of information. I take that as an exciting thing. Like, this is how much exciting stuff is going on in this community. There are that many updates, that many growth opportunities. So again, if you are new, we're not going to leave you behind. Come join me in the Social Impact platform. Come say hey and ask me questions, and I will personally help you get up to speed. I just want to let you know there's a lot about to happen. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to start sharing screens. We're using R-Link today, one of our partner brand projects, and I'm jumping in here, and then we're going to get started. Okay. So again, my name is Scott Touchton. I'm a community member here, just like you. I just got engaged, got active. I'd invite you to do the same. We're going to start each call like we do all of our calls with our disclaimers, because we're a compliant community, compliant organization, from the left to the right, from the top to the back. There are no earnings claims here. There's no financial advice here. Just a lot of education. With that education, you can make the decisions that are best for you. The DGF is a legal way of saying we are a community-owned, self-governed blockchain organization. So I could submit a proposal, and Jim could vote no on it because he doesn't like my proposal, or he can say, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Let's vote on it. Let's do it. We are a community-led organization. And we're going to jump right in. And again, if you're new, welcome. You might get thrown into the deep end of the pool a little bit, but that's okay. Jim's a lifeguard, and he's going to help you. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over, and I'll see you in the chat.
Right, thanks, Scott. I appreciate you, buddy. Always bring humor and lightness to these game-changing projects. One of the things we love to do at the beginning of all of our meetings is really introduce and connect everybody to our vision and our big purpose, our mission, everything. And so, as I read these, and Scott, maybe you can skip to the next slide. As I read these, I want you to truly picture this in your life. So we talk about having a big purpose. And the reason we talk about a big purpose is it aligns our DNA. I believe every one of us has a reason we came here as an organization, as a community. Our big purpose is to help humanity reset our operating system for humanity so that every human can win the game of life. So everybody becomes happier, healthier, and wealthier, and that we create a world that works for everybody. And so these operating systems are energy, food, education, banking, finance, mining, all these things. All right, so that's our big purpose. Behind that big purpose, we have our core values. And we don't just put these on a plaque on a wall. We build our products and our services and our connectors. That means a billion people in our platforms, on our community, helping change the world. And that's a fraction of what Facebook alone has every day on their platform. So I believe a social impact platform is gonna take over the day over a social media platform. We've got a vision of 100 million users of our products and our services. So as Scott said, our link is a product and a service. The social impact platform is a product and service. Every NFT, every node, everything that we sell, from food to healthcare to energy, with the Power Pay program, these are all products and services. So just 10% of our 1 billion people gives us 100 million users of products and services. So if you can start to see this more now, type it in the chat, I see this, right? And of those 100 million users, we believe that we'll have 1 million blockbots, 1 million people who are owning and operating blockbots on this decentralized platform that is helping humanity. And then of those 1 million blockbots, we see at least 10,000 of them becoming impacts blockbots, which means that they not only own a blockbot, they're actually helping at least 4 or 5 other people own those blockbots, and that makes them an impact blockbot. They're making an impact in this amazing future that we're building. So I see a lot of people say, I see this, and hopefully you can feel it too. It's becoming more real every day as we add more and more people to our community, as we help more and more people own and operate blockbots. So that is our vision, and what fuels our vision is the mission that we're on. I often like to say, I've got friends who are in the military and they get sent out on missions, and a mission is that short term thing that you're focused on. So a mission in the military might be to overtake the mountain or hilltop by sunset, right? And so we're currently on a mission to connect and reward purpose driven people to world changing impact projects through AI and blockchain technology, so that together we can create a better future. So now I'll say it all together. We're on a mission to connect and reward purpose driven people to world changing impact projects through AI and blockchain technology, so that together we can create a better future. And those values, that vision, this mission is what prepares us to be able to fulfill on our big purpose. And it steers our products. The products and services that we're creating are directly aligned with that purpose, that mission, that vision, and those values. Can everybody see that? How we're not just creating random products and services, but the products and services that we're about to show you that we've developed over just the last 6 months are designed specifically to fulfill on that vision and those missions. If you can see that, type into the chat alignment, because that's the key. Some companies lose their way. They develop products and services that don't necessarily fulfill on the vision, mission, and values that the community has put forward. So we actually say yes to products and no to products based on our vision, mission, values. We have some people bring us like, hey, we got this really fun game, and to bring a lot of people in and make a lot of money. Well, how's that changing the world? How's that going to help us right side energy, food, banking, healthcare, the social media? Like, how are we going to disrupt those industries? If it doesn't do that, then we say no to it. All right, let's dive down into the products, because of those of you who've been around for a minute, you know that this has been an incredible last 8 weeks of developing products. But what we decided to do, if we can hit the next slide, Scott, what we decided to do was to use today's town hall to give us kind of a slide backwards, if you will. And Trace, if you want to join me in talking about these products that we have designed and now delivered, I think it'd be fun to ping pong back and forth with you on these subjects. And you were a big proponent of really making sure that the community owned everything that they're about to see. And we started this campaign called We Own This. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Maybe Scotty, we can hit the next slide here.
Yeah. In fact, I was on a call this morning with part of our with a chunk of our people. They're on this call this morning. We were talking about, what makes what we're doing different. But then when you kind of take it a step further, you realize that the products that we're about to talk about really do belong to the community. And we're sitting on top of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of blockchain and AI technology. It's been being built since the 2010s. And, it was about a month ago that we've always talked about decentralizing. We've always talked about like all the ownership going out to the community. Well, about 30 days ago, we finally were able to turn all of that value or all of the product ownership, the stuff we're about to talk about, to the community. And so these are the things that we got a lot of feedback, the community asked for, a lot of fun, new, exciting products that strengthen the community, and things that we had talked about for a long time that were really difficult and challenging to do. But what we've done is we've launched a lot of that stuff, and at the exact same time turned it all over to the community. And when we talk about revenue, and I always talk about growing and strengthening the community. Growing, bringing people in. Strengthening means using our products and services, selling, purchasing those. There's been a lot of growing the community. There's been a lot of strengthening the community. And I think a big part of it, Jim, is what we're going to talk about. But we own this. Just know that you, as a Blockbot / node owner, own this project. You have a vote in it. You give us feedback on it. You gather in Connect and talk about it. You share things like, there's a lot of it. And SkipET is just a great example of someone who's part of the community who takes we own this to the next level and jumps in with both feet. John T. That way, a lot of people have done that, myself. So anyway, here we are, Jim. I think we should jump through it. There's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. So Skippy, if you can hit that next slide. And so one of the first things that we talked about was, what is a massive market that we feel could be disrupted, that has been selling people's data, that has been making money off of your videos and your family vacations and your pictures of your friends and family. And so we launched the world's first social impact platform, not social media platform, but the world's first social impact platform. And we were really excited about it. We've got some data here, but I want to show you down into that platform a little bit. So if we can hit the next slide. And this was, so inside here, there's numerous features, if you will, one of which is Connections AI. So where it says meet connectors, and you see everybody's little pictures, and it's got some things that'll show you, who are the people near you? Who are the people who have common interests with you? So for example, if you're interested in AI, or maybe you're interested in puppies, or maybe you love surfing, or maybe you love sunsets, or maybe you love your kid's soccer game and you coach their flag football team, whatever it is, right? The AI software, when you put that into your bio, it connects you, as the name suggests, it connects you with people who have common interests. So you can start conversation, so you can start relationships, you can start new projects and ventures that are going to change your life and change the world. The other thing is, and this is a big piece of our community, is events. So we have an events platform built inside of the social impact platform. And what's amazing about events, I know, Trace, you're passionate about events. I'm passionate. We've got a number of events that we've been running in partnership with some of our other brands. We've got a number of events that are happening remote with our Jedis. What do you love about this events platform and what it's doing for our community?
The cool thing is, number one, it's really easy to use. It's really easy to access. And I just love that the community has a total visibility into not what's happened, what's upcoming. The other thing is, it's dynamic based on your location. So when you put your profile location, and Jim puts, I guess he's in California right now, but usually I think he's in Puerto Rico or Utah or wherever it is, Jim. I don't even know where you live anymore. Or different people all around the world, from Bangladesh to Australia to Sweden. When you put your time zone there, automatically adjusts all of the events for you. It tells you who's going. You can RSVP that you're going to go. You can click into the links and get details about the events when they're available. And so it's a world-class events platform, but the access to it and the ease of use and the dynamic features, Jim, are my favorite parts.
Yeah, and I don't know, Scott, maybe Scott, I'm going to do this live for a second. So maybe you'll stop sharing, um, if you can, for a minute. And I'm just going to take through real quick, because some of you, if you're new, type brand new in here, but this is what Trace was talking about. So what's cool is you can hover over it and you can start to see people, you can chat with them, you can view their profile. If you come into your own section, and maybe I'm going to make this a little bit easier to see here. You come in here and you go to your personal settings, you hit your edit profile, and this is what I was talking about with the AI. So if you put in, things that you're loving, are interested in, it'll do that. You can put links out to your own site, and then you can change your location. So yeah, right now I'm in Cardiff, California, and so it'll automatically update my time zone, but it'll also tell me people who are here. And I happen to know some connectors have reached out and went, oh my gosh, you're in California, you're not in Puerto Rico or in, wherever. So that's pretty cool. The other features that are neat in here, and this is huge, is one of our core values is learning. We launched the weekly Learn to Earn program, which has been huge. And inside of here, every Thursday, there's a new lesson that teaches you about blockchain or teaches you about AI or teaches you about our community. And we've taken learning to a new level because it's not just consuming content. We want people doing things. We want people taking action. We're a proof of action blockchain. So one of those is to take the quiz. The other is to complete whatever the action of the week is. It might be just to take a screenshot and post on social. It might be to like a YouTube video, right? It might be to actually give somebody a wallet and some crypto so that we bring more people into this world that they're curious about. They're crypto curious, but they're not crypto confident yet. And so that's part of what this is designed to do, this Learn to Earn, is to introduce people to our world. We also rolled out the Blockchain Academy. And that Blockchain Academy, we just started putting some content in so people can learn about the blockchain, which is pretty cool. And then we've also got an AI Academy that we're working on. There is a fourth Academy that'll be coming out soon. And so, Trace, anything you want to say about this? And I can go back to your, where was it? The community is where you find the events. And you can click on any of these events and RSVP. I see a number of you have done that. So I just come in here, I go, yep, I'm going to that one. I'm going to do only this event, and boom, it adds me to those people that are going. So there's a quick snapshot on the events. And of course, replays. A lot of times people are asking support. Can I go back and watch that AMA? Can I go back and watch that Blockbot presentation? Yes, it's in there, right? And then there's a new section called Event Roadmap and FAQs. So you can take a look at when are we gathering for local events and big live events that we're running. So Trace, I know you're passionate about this. You want to share anything about this Blockbot launch plan?
Well, this is really the way we all get together, right? And everybody who's been to a live event with us knows that it's not your normal live event. We are a community and we own this. And there are so many dear friends of mine, people who I would never have met in a million years from all around the world. And shoot, I want to kind of start naming them because it's like, and I can't name all of you guys. I have so many good friends, but like, I've never met anybody from Bangladesh until I met Me2. I had met very few people in Australia before I met Ranjit and I mean, there's just so many, Lisa, everybody. And so what's cool is when we can all come together, we can realize it's almost, I always talk about kind of the impact that we could make, Jim, as a group. And I've been bringing this up a lot lately. I just keep feeling like I should bring it up. When we have the power of people united together, we can make a huge impact in the world. We don't just talk about it, we do it. When you get together in person, it takes that unity to an entirely different level. Not to mention it's very rewarding to get together. And we have tons of fun. Like everybody who comes on the cruise is going to get $10,000 worth of nodes and NFTs for coming on that cruise, just for being there. Like different things. We put together travel bonuses to make it as easy as possible for everybody to be able to pay for it. We pay those out right at the event so that everybody has it right away and they can use that for their trips. We try to do everything we can to make it so that everybody can gather together because that's the real power of our community. Of course, this event section is access to all this stuff and that launch plan. Pretty soon, we're going to add the details about Las Vegas coming soon. We're going to put dates on the cruise that this morning we had a call. We're waiting for the last couple of bids to come in, and then we're going to lock down the cabins. We're trying to get everybody there, as many people who can qualify as possible. But that's where the magic happens, Jim. And I just love that on Connect, the calendar and the event section really helps everybody just know where all the information is, easy to access, easy to adjust by time zone, and easy. There's like, even on the platform, there's that messenger so you can ask questions. Like there's just so much to it. So that was a big launch this year, is getting Connect live.
Yeah, and we're moving so many things forward so quickly that it's probably tough for people to keep up at some level, which we get, right? Which is why it was so important to put all of this into one place. So I'm going to go ahead and share the slides. Actually, Skippy T, can you go back because it takes my full screen when I do that? Can you go back and let's give some data behind the social impact platform, so that everybody can see that. So that next slide, yeah, go one more slide. And we wanted you to see the growth of the community. And as some of you may or may not know the story of Facebook, Facebook was Mark Zuckerberg, right, in his dorm room. And he started by only letting Harvard students in there. And then he opened it up to just the Ivy League colleges. Then he opened it up to all colleges. And then he opened it up to the world. And that was strategic, right? Like, you want to build the culture and the technology, and you want to make sure that you can control the growth and the scale. So here's what we've been able to accomplish as a community in just a few short months. And I think this is one of the things we should all be extremely proud of, is the social impact platform. Somebody type it in the chat if you know the date when we first launched this. I want to see if anybody knows the date. I'm going to give you 10 seconds while I talk about these stats. But what we're looking at is we're looking at how many members, of course, which is 2,197. That's actually old data. As a matter of fact, that's really old data. Let me go back because I just realized this slide, and I apologize, guys. We've been so busy building these projects, sometimes we didn't update our slides. But I know for a fact, let me go back and look at the new data. I'm almost certain that when we updated this morning, yeah. So I'm going to give you guys some new data. We're over 3,054 members. Scott, I'm going to share screen again. Let me give them some real-time data here. I think this will be helpful. All right, so it's growing pretty fast, but at a controlled space. So we have over 3,054 members since May 13th. All right, so May 13th is when we first allowed everybody in. Some of you got daily streaks that are just crushing it. But we've got 3,000 members, 1,651 are active, 1,256 are contributing. And what that means is they're posting, they're commenting, they're sharing, they're chatting, they're direct messaging, they're RSVPing for events. And the total contributions is 17,000. And so, it goes up and down throughout the week. But check this out. Our total members, and I'm going to do this year. Okay, so it's only been since May. I'm going to hit refresh. But check this out. This is one of the things that I think is so cool. We are seeing steady growth in this community, and that's what we want to see. Here's the thing we don't want to do, right? So check this out. It just, boom, it goes up. It's got a little flat. I think we're going to take some jumps again, right? But here's the real data. Out of 3,000 members, 2,636, and maybe somebody I'll do some fast math here, because you divide 2,636 divided by 3,054, that's an 86% engagement in our social impacts platform. Think about that. Compared to Facebook or Instagram or whatever, this is huge. And I want to talk about why this is important at this stage. We want people coming in and posting things on their feed that actually are relevant to all of us, right? And so when we look at this feed, you can actually start to sort your feed to what's important to you. Facebook's not going to let you do this because they have an algorithm that is there to sell you stuff, right? So they don't want you controlling your feed. They also don't want you seeing what we're going to show you in a minute, which is your impact. We want you to see how many people have you invited to the blockchain? What activities have they done, right? Because we're all working on this together. But this is really important data, and I'm personally super excited about what we're seeing here, because we're seeing the right growth curve, and we're seeing that people are engaging, they're inviting into this platform. All right, so let's now kick back to the slides. That was a big launch, big release. We took a little extra time on that. Inside of the social impact platform, if we go to the next slide, inside the social impact platform is actually the Academy. And Trace, I know you're super passionate about the Academy. I know that we've been monitoring the data. We've been paying out millions in rewards. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Academy and what we're doing in there?
Yeah, Yeah, well, so the Academy is kind of the overarching product, right? So the way we got Academy off the ground this year is we launched Learn to Earn. The Learn to Earn rewards. I know we've been giving away sometimes a bit more than $200 a week in value, but it's basically a way to get $200 a week in NFTs and or digital rewards, whatever's relevant to and available to the community at the time. And it was a way to get people engaged and we have goals as a community to grow and strengthen the community. There are things that are really important to learn about. There are really exciting things we're launching, and we're moving really fast, and it's very hard to keep everybody informed and aligned. And so we launched that Learn to Earn as an opportunity for people to get rewarded and engage with the community, and we can all work together to get our goals, achieve our goals as a community, and create a lot of value for one another. And so that's been a big success. It's actually been a little bit bumpy. We launched a new NFT, for example, during that program. It's a single lesson Learn to Earn NFT. When we launched it, there was a problem with the activation of it in the wallets. You couldn't see like the activation button, which we made updates to the wallet, and then you could see the activation button. Now that people can activate them, now we're going to learn how to give them the rewards, because when you activate an NFT, it actually records it on the blockchain. It's so cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen an NFT activation on the blockchain. On the Block Explorer, you can actually see when you activate it, which then locks you in to receive that reward. And so Learn to Earn, it's a little bit of a work in progress. Thank you, Mike. It's a beta, but I think it's been really great. And we've like made some lessons were too long, some were short enough. Like we're figuring out what works best, and we appreciate everybody coming along for that. The next chunks of the Academy are going to be about blockchain, about AI. Those will be the next two chunks, and we're going to continue to add to an Academy, and we're going to have a very educated community. We're going to reward our community for participating. You'll be able to unlock certain things. Like if you're a BlockBot owner, you'll be able to unlock certain parts of the Academy. If you have multiple BlockBots, you can unlock even more exclusive content. And so there's a lot of opportunity with the Academy, Jim. But if people don't learn, and it's not the thing that makes our Academy, I think, unique and our community unique is it's proof of action, because a lot of people learn for candy. It's like eating candy. Like they just go out and they doom scroll and they learn and they're just eating candy all day long. They don't actually ever do anything with what they learned. All of our stuff is about proof of action. Even Learn to Earn, you learn something, you take an action, you support the community, you like apply something, and it creates a higher level of learning. So we're ready to disrupt education. We're starting small with this little community. By the time this Academy is built out and all these processes are built out, I think that the Academy is going to become a big global movement of disrupting education. It's super cool. It's just a baby right now. It's just getting started.
Yeah, and you talked about disrupting education. That's why we're also going after social media with Social Impact Platform, because in my experience, the world is now consuming more content through social media than they are through classrooms. And so whatever that algorithm is pumping them with, which a lot of times is making unhappy, sick, and broke humans, it's not making happy, healthy, wealthy. We're going to change that algorithm. We're going to actually help people take their focus and their minds back and fill it with things that are going to make them happier, healthier, and wealthier, and move humanity to a better state. So I hope everybody sees strategically why we're choosing the products that we are to roll out. So with that said, let's move to the next one. And I think this is a little peek into the future. A number of you have been like, "Gosh, Connect is amazing. BlockBot's amazing. The BlockBot Mini is amazing. The Social Impact Platform is amazing. The Learn to Earn Academy, like all this, right?" And we're all passionate about other projects. We're passionate about shifting energy and healthcare and video conferencing and food and all these things. And so very soon, the brand partners inside the Social Impact Platform, they're going to have their own space. So they'll be able to have their own announcements. They'll have their own events that you can sign up for. They'll have their own connection to the overall Social Impact Platform. So we're super excited about that. I know a number of you are like, "Hey, what's the latest promotion that's happening with this brand? When are they going to run an event? How can I hear from, the community and the founders and all this?" So they're working behind the scenes with us at Connect to fill out and to build those brand spaces out. And I think we're really close to that. So Trace, I don't know if you want to say anything about that or the positions, if that's something you want to save for later.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And for the brands, it's just, and everybody who's been around for a little while, we love the impact that a lot of these brands are making in the world. People come in, Blockbot unlocks access to all of these cool things inside of Connect. And then people will, like right now we're using an R-Link video service, one of our cool partner brands, Galvin. Yesterday, I haven't done it this morning because I've been so busy. I log in with my Galvin app. I check my with the AI voice recognition, analyzes my energy levels, all those kinds of things. Like there's a lot of cool products and services inside of this group of partners. And one thing that we're working on with AI is, and Jim kind of showed you the first bit of AI with the looking at people's profiles and stuff and matching them up. You'll also be able to match up with brands and products and services through AI as well through this through the platform. And so I love that, Jim. And that's probably all I would say is that stay tuned to watch more for more brand integrations as our AI develops, as their products and services develop, and it all kind of integrates into a kind of a nice, fun, interactive place in Connect.
I love it. I love it. All right. With that said, Skippy, you can go to the next slide, and then I'm going to share screen for a second. I think most of you may have seen this if you've been around a minute. So, Scott, if you'll stop sharing, I'm going to take them into a real quick live and then show a couple more of the products. And by the way, everybody, I know we're taking more time today on the products, right? That was by design, but we've rolled out so much in the last few months. So how many of you are familiar with this new dashboard? You now start to see your win rank in there. You see the hyperlinks to the social impact platform, which is called Connect, Learn to Earn Academy, and events. You can click right through to any of these, and it single signs you on. So it literally goes from the Blockbot operating system over to the Connect social impact platform, right? So you still got your drop downs for dashboard, you got your wallet and your nodes, your Blockbot reports, et cetera, but you've got one screen now that you can find your way through everything. And I think that's pretty darn exciting, pretty cool. It's all in one place. So with that being said, I'm going to stop sharing screen and I'm going to just look at the next slide because I think the next slide I'm going to do a live demo on too. Next slide was Blockbot OS. Okay, so this is Blockbot OS, the operating system. And Trace, you and I and the team are so passionate about Blockbot OS. And I'm going to show the site, but if you can talk us through Blockbot, that would be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
we recently announced the biggest thing ever, and it is the world's first blockchain AI robot. And Trace, I'm going to turn it to you. So go ahead. And
yeah, so let's talk about this for a minute. So this is what Jim's showing right now. This is a landing page that everybody has. It's under share offers. When you log into Blockbot, you can click on share offers and you can access this page. Jim, the way I when I was on this morning with one of our groups, and I kind of explained like, hey, if you want to learn about Blockbot, one of the coolest things to do is to just go log into your share offers page, look at Meet Blockbot, put that link into your browser. You can kind of copy it there and then take a look at it. And that will describe a lot of things. It's got a lot of information. But Jim, we probably all I would say about Blockbot, like I like this analogy. I don't know if you want to stop sharing for a minute. I mean, this is all cool to run through that. But I would say I personally believe that the intersection of social media, blockchain, AI, and education is one of the biggest markets ever created in the world, like the biggest opportunity for disruption. It's a great opportunity to create value, and there needs to be a simple way to participate in that, and that's what Blockbot does. Everything plugs into Blockbot, and when you plug into Blockbot, it makes everything better, it makes everything smarter, and it's a way that you can own a piece of this. We call it Web 4, right? When we bring this decentralized community together, blockchain, AI, and education, and all the social media stuff, and it's just so cool. And I thought, maybe when you say Blockbot OS, the way I kind of look at Blockbot is I almost look at it like an iPhone. where you can, when you buy an iPhone, it comes with an operating system on it. And that operating system comes with certain programs, like with Apple, if you use an iPhone, and it has their Messenger, and it has different things, their AI, right, that's built into it. And that's what the operating system is. When you buy a BlockBot, it includes the BlockBot operating system, and that comes with certain applications. It comes with a BlockBot smart wallet. It comes with access to our global payment system called LimpPay. It comes with a BlockBot shopping cart that is a way you can purchase and earn rewards. It comes with access to all kinds of apps that are built in, and including smart nodes. And it comes with a Win Smart Node. It's an app that runs on this BlockBot operating system. It plugs in. It's kind of the heartbeat of your BlockBot, right? And that's kind of the way I look at this BlockBot operating system. So when you log into web.connectunited.com, you're logging into the BlockBot operating system. And the cool thing is BlockBot as a product, when you buy it, the more BlockBots you buy, the more it multiplies your rewards. And so that's kind of how I look at BlockBot. All those features that you were showing on that landing page when you go through, Jim, and maybe we can kind of like go through that landing page now, is if someone wants to own a piece of this, and who owns BlockBot? Let's see it in the chat. Who owns BlockBot? I know the community knows. Doris, it's me. Doris says it's me. Everybody owns this technology, okay? And BlockBot is going to continue to add all kinds of cool AI features. If you guys were on the AMA, and when you guys hear from customer service today, one of the first AI features that's coming out is going to be a customer service agent where BlockBot actually helps you with all kinds of cool stuff. There's going to be an AI search bar that works that you can go in and get help with, that knows your data, and it can help you make good, smart decisions with whatever you're trying to do on the blockchain. And so as you kind of go through this landing page, and there's two different versions of it, sometimes it'll look different because we're A/B testing one version against another. So every time you open it, it could look, one of those two versions will show up. It comes with mining rewards, action rewards, learning rewards, sharing rewards. And at the bottom of this page, which I think is the most useful thing, is you've got a nice little comparison chart, and it'll say like, what's the difference? Because we're giving away BlockBot Mini. It's a $500 value. We're giving it away right now for free as we grow our community. That's not going to last forever. And what's the difference between a BlockBot Mini and a BlockBot? You can see the differences here. And so, Jim, that's kind of a big launch. Like a massive launch is BlockBot Mini being an offer that we can use our viral invite share system, which you're probably going to show, to bring people in. And then this BlockBot page kind of explains if somebody wants to go from a mini to a full BlockBot and the benefits that they get. So
I love it. And yeah, I'm seeing the we own this in there. So there's a lot. There's another piece of technology that we also own, and it is the viral invite engine. So we launched all of these products just recently. I'm going to share with you the viral invite engine. Many of you have already seen it, but I'm going to show you a peek of what's coming next also. So if you weren't excited enough, well, guess what? There's more coming. So you go down here, you click on invites, and Trace talked about share offers. That's kind of the old way that we shared. The viral invite engine was designed so that we could invite people, tag them to you, and you could start to see your impact. So you just click on this button, and I'm not going to do a walkthrough. We've done this 100 times, but you got to select your brand, hit connect, boom. Now I can send an invite. All right. And many of you have seen that process. You can see when they're expired, you can see when they're accepted, and we're starting to build data that shows you whether they got their wallet done or not. All right. So that's really cool. The other cool piece of this, go back to the dashboard, is connections. And right now, this is what connections looks like today. But very soon, and it looks like a spreadsheet, right? And you can get all kinds of great data. You can download your sales activity. That's all good. But we want to actually bring the data to life in a better visual way. So let me show this tab here. So again, here's the invites and what they look like. Here's the impact. So you start to see how many people you've invited, which is pretty cool. You can see what countries they're coming in. You can see your growth in your actual Ripple, which is pretty neat. But then we haven't turned this live, but we're now going to start coding this. This is called connections. And what's cool about connections is a lot of people are like, well, where's my growth happening? Who is promoting? Who's inviting? Who's selling? Well, with our filter system in here, we can do it by zone, right? So you can sort by zone and go, oh, here's all my zone 1 people. Here's my zone 2 people, which we'll be calling blocks pretty soon. So block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, right? And then you can also sort by block bots, okay? So, they have 20 block bots, they have 18 block bots, 17, 15, 13. So you can start to see, because block bots relate to points. And points means how much of the rewards or how much money are you making every day. You can see who's sending the most invites. I want to reach out to the people who are inviting people to this community and get behind them and see how their conversions are going. But you can also sort by win rank, and you can see who's playing the game at the highest level, who's earning more rewards every day. And then you can reach out to those people that are real builders, if you will. So we'll also be unlocking marketing soon, but this is what we're coding next. And we are super excited about the viral invite engine and the data that it's initially telling us. No one else in the world will show you your impact this way. Facebook won't do it. TikTok won't do it. Instagram won't do it. They're not going to show you your impact because they are making you the product. Since we own the product and we're not the product, we want to show you your actual impact. And for those of you who are competitive, like I'm competitive, and while we're building this and I'm playing the role of president in this organization, I'm also keep an eye on my score, and I want my score to improve. I'm sure everybody on here does. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to make it a game, and we're going to design the game so that all of us get a chance to make an impact. So the viral invite engine was designed to actually then lead us into the next product. And the next product, I'll go ahead and share this one and open it up. It's just kind of fun. Let's see if I can do this here. I think I have to do it a little differently. The next product, and we were super excited. We just launched this from South Beach. Trace and I were down there in South Beach, is called the Blockbot Mini. And this was a really fun, cool product. I'm not going to do it in full screen. But the Blockbot Mini was our way to give people something of value, connect them to the blockchain, give them a wallet, and give them some mini tokens and rewards. And the Blockbot Mini is already starting to take off. We are going to simplify the onboarding process so that it's so easy that the first time somebody comes in and they watch that 3-minute video, they claim their Blockbot and they bring this thing to life. It's fun and it's cool. That's what we're working on next, is a cleaner experience. Instead of bringing them from one platform to the other and then back, we're going to make it all into one platform. And somebody said the Blockbot Mini is cute. So guess what? It actually invoked all kinds of fun and creativity in the community. And we started seeing these fun little characters pop up. And that's when we knew we had something special, is when you started using AI to put new skins and new armor and new tools in the Blockbot Mini. We're like, this is going to be fun. Same with the Blockbot. So anyways, that's just the fun zone, the creative zone. I love seeing that. And I think everybody in the community loves seeing that. So I know we took a long time on products today. We've got something I'm going to show you at the end that's going to be the AI side of this. But this is a half year in review. Most of this, and Trace said it best, he's like, we pushed more code in the last 8 weeks than most companies will do in 8 months, right? And that's what's so cool about what the team is doing behind the scenes. Trace, anything you want to say before we turn this over to John T, who's been heading up sales and just crushing it?
No, I'm excited to see for the community to hear from John T. And then, we have a lot of fun news. So I know this town hall will probably go a little bit longer than we typically do. We just have pushed so much stuff out, and it's hard to keep the community in the know to use it. So thank you for bearing with us as we had so many fun announcements and interesting things to recap. So.
All right, so John T, you're up. Skippy T, if you'll hit the slides.
All right, guys. John T here. So, heading up Connect Sales, I'm not doing anything different than I haven't been doing for several years. I'm out there grinding on the front lines with everybody, but I have some important stats to share with you. And I think more importantly than just the numbers is just understanding why this is important. So jump to the next slide, Skip. Skip to the next slide, Skip. All right, perfect. So we've seen some drastic growth over the past 6 months. So we're currently at 93,000 active connectors, a little bit more. Active block bots, so people who are have purchased and are running their block bots, we're at 16.5 thousand, which has seen a lot of growth just in the past 6 months. We're now in 172 countries, and that number keeps rising. I think we're in almost every country in the whole world. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's like 190 something countries. So we are global, we are worldwide, and we have 268 impact block bots. And if you go to the next slide, we can introduce the couple new impact block bots that came recently. So we have John Deasy, we have William Burr, Billy Moeller, and David Corey. Sorry if I didn't get the pronunciation right, but these are people, along with the other 264, that are really creating impact. And I want to explain. If you go to the next slide, Skip, I want to explain really our revenue numbers. Okay, this is year to date. So in this is in the past 6 months. So like Connect branded or Win product revenue for the year is about 1.167 million. Now total revenue across all brands is 9.69 million. Now, why is this important? It's important to understand that, this isn't about just generating revenue like traditional companies do, where it lines their pockets and bank accounts. We have a shared revenue economy here. So the lion's share of all these numbers, guess where it goes? It goes right through the Win blockchain after it goes to the markets and goes right to the very people who are creating positive impact and taking actions within our communities. So that's an important thing to understand. Like, revenue isn't about making money, it's about driving positive impact, creating buy pressure in our markets, and rewarding the very people who are moving the needle. If you jump to the next slide, we'll kind of focus in on the month of June. So in June, we had one of our biggest months of the year. People are getting it. People are jumping on board. People are seeing value in the Blockbot and all of our products and services. And just alone in the month of June, total across all brands, we had $3.78 million in revenue. And that was just about double than we had the previous month. So that's a sign that we are growing. And just to break this down a little bit, guys, all of this revenue, it goes through a smart flow process that goes into the markets and buys the tokens out of the markets for whatever project um, that revenue came from. And then it sends those tokens back through the Win blockchain. And all of that revenue goes straight back to the community in the form of, like direct commissions and or node support rewards. So I mentioned the new impact block bots. Those four new people that's going to be participating in a massive chunk of this revenue. So that's what this is, guys. This isn't, Web 2 extractional type of system that is just selling products to become this mega rich company. Like, we own this. We are the community. Like, we are the recipients of this revenue. That's how it works. That's the essence of Web 4, where value and ownership exist and the revenue flows to the very people who are the supporters of the community. So we drive sales to move the needle, to grow, and it all has a positive impact on not only our markets and our distribution through the Win blockchain. So jump to the next slide. Thank you. So at the beginning of this month, I launched a kind of a top 25 Jedi chain ranks, and I went down. There's still some more people I need to reach out to. But what this is it's a rotating group of 25 elite impact leaders, people that, you know, uh, focus are entirely on start goals and proof of action. And we're built for execution, leadership, and real visibility. I've been around, I know a lot of how this works, and I feel that if I can train the leadership to understand like exactly what it is we're doing here, because I think we're starting to grow. We need an informed community, and that starts with an informed leadership. And these spots are earned, they're not given. It's based on proof of action, it's based on result. So just to give you an idea of like the specifics and what it stands for, we focus on START goals. We're real specific about where we're spending our time and how we're allocating it. Everything we do is trackable through KPIs. If you can't track it, you don't know how you can improve. Everything is action based and of course rewarding. And it's all tied, all of our actions, specific, trackable, action based and rewarding, are tied to revenue or the mission or the impact. So this group is will ebb and flow. Don't be surprised if you start to take some action out there and I reach out to you and invite you to be in this group. And again, it's earned and it's handpicked. If you don't make it to this group, like, don't worry, we're not going to forget you. This is an exclusive group for people that are really looking to move the needle, to really get us out to reach those metrics that Jim talked about, like, 1 billion users, 100 million, all that stuff. We really want to change the world and impact the world in a positive way. And it all starts with the right leadership. I think that's it for my slides. I know we've gone super long. I definitely want to share the time for event updates and everything else. So thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next.
Thank you, John T. And I love it. He's doing these calls twice a day. I'm on most of them, and he's just pushing super hard. And reminder everybody, leaders need to be led, right? Because we're all leaders, but there's times where we need that vision, we need that support, we need that community. And one of the areas that we as a community need a lot of support is in events. And I get the distinct pleasure of introducing someone who's become a friend. She's actually at one of our other companies' studios, the Power headquarters. Irene came in right when COVID hit, or a little before COVID, and built out one of the best events programs in the world for our clean energy company. And I told her one day, I said, there's going to be a time where you are going to come over and work with us again and make another huge impact. And so just recently, Irene Ford has come on board. She's an amazing human. She's a world-class gymnast. She just won a competition. She loves running events for communities. She heads up a bunch of house builds, these impact journeys for not only our power company, but also she does it on the side with some friends, where they take people down to Mexico and they build houses from scratch and they hand the keys over to people who've been living with, either in other people's places that have 9, 10 people in this tiny little home, or people who don't have homes at all to live in. And so she's an amazing human. She's already created an impact just in the first couple of weeks here. And so, Irene, it's such a pleasure to have you on board. I know the community is going to love meeting you at these live events. So welcome aboard and take it away.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jim, for that intro. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be here. Did you want me to share my screen, or is someone else sharing the presentation? Awesome. So yeah, I'll go pretty quick through event updates here, because like Jim said, I just got here, but my name's Irene. You can go to the next slide. Some top event updates from this year. I was not here for all of these things, but I've heard amazing things. And I'm excited to continue building on the foundation that you all have laid. So we had the Fab Life event in Fort Lauderdale, the Top Sellers Retreat in Puerto Rico, which I was at, and I met a lot of you there. Momentum Live 2025 sounded like such an amazing, incredible time, and excited to continue the momentum from there. We've got these AMAs daily that started up on May 12th, and then the Blockbot weekly sales presentations that John T was just talking about with the Jedis and everything as well. So next slide. A lot of you have heard about, but for anyone who is new or hasn't been on our calls, this is everything we're talking about now, the upcoming events. So you don't want to miss any of these. We've got a cruise coming up in September, leaders retreat coming up in Hawaii in October. In November, we'll get a ton of people out the F1 races in Las Vegas, and looking at spring, getting over to Disney, and then spring or summer of next year, heading to Mount Everest. And then if you'll see on this graphic here, we have the Gather to Win events in between each of those. We're going to be rolling out a program, probably if not today or tomorrow, then early next week, that helps you earn money for creating events, bringing people together, and teaching them about the mission and everything that we're on. Last slide over here.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
hey, just real quick. There was a question or comment of someone that said we should do an event in Australia. And on that launch plan, if you go back to that launch plan side, see how on that blue bar where it says Gather to Win, we're going to be doing as many global gatherings as we possibly can and bring people together all around the world. And so but I just wanted to make sure that this was clear. Who is going to make it so that we do an event in Australia? Like, who's in charge of planning the Australia event, filling the room with people, like whatever? It's the community really deciding. And so the team can decide, Deb. That's such a good question. And I actually met with Ranjit in Florida and different people. And I said, can we please gather a bunch of people together in Australia? Bring us out there. And so if people want to do an event if you want to do a local event and you want to bring some leadership out or different people out to kind of support it, we would love to participate in it, but it's going to be the community who brings us there. And so you are welcome to be part of the movement of bringing an event, Connect BlockBot event, to your local area. Deb, let's do it in Australia. Like, we need to do it. We would love to do it. We just need to have an event there to do it, like the people to do it. So I don't know if you have anything to say on that, Jim, but that's what I was wanting to make sure that question got answered.
Yeah, we're building this map and this invite engine so we can see where the energy is, and we will go where the energy and the growth is. It's that simple. So work with your local leaders who are building these events in these communities, and then when we get enough of that momentum, we will come. This is the year of momentum. We're calling it the Momentum Live Tour, kicked off in Lauderdale, but we would love to have leadership from, whether it's from Connect, well, we're not really corporate, but you know what I mean, to across the world. So short answer is, yeah, build the audience, educate people on blockchain, get them owning and operating BlockBots and the other brands, and we will come visit a city near you.
And soon,
All right,
with
with
the Gather to Win NFT, we'll have a more systemized process for you to plug in. Let us know when those events are happening so we can get them on our calendar and help support you in whatever ways we can.
Cool. And those of you who want to run events, maybe you want to run some of these Gather events, just type it in the chat so we can see you kind of raise your hand and start that conversation with you. With that being said, let's go to the next slide. I know that Denise, right now, Denise has got pneumonia. And so I don't know how much her voice will allow her to communicate, but she has been managing so much behind the scenes with the team. And so let's turn it over to Denise.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. I'm not a smoker, just a pneumonia recoverer. Yeah, operations has had a hand in so many different things that have already been discussed. But if you want to go to the next slide, we can talk about what has happened in the last 6 months, where some key changes happened. So obviously that's training the community. We started with a Happy, Healthy, Wealthy Blockchain Challenge. I know so many of you participated in that and, took away some really, core skills, right? I know I did. We learned how to stay organized and, how to make sure that our healthy actions contributed to our wealthy actions. It was great. And then we moved there to the Blockchain Academy beta. That was super fun, doing those Thursday night calls with the guys, with those OGs. And now we have transitioned into the weekly Learn to Earn. I believe we are in Block 6 live right now. So you've got a little bit more than 24 hours until that one comes down. So if you haven't done your training yet, make sure you get it done. We have also consistently started out this weekly newsletter. I know that in the past it had been gone, sent out, but it just wasn't a regular basis. We've got a great team helping with that newsletter, getting all that communication out to the field, whether you're, a fly on the wall or you're active every single day in the social impact platform. It's all information getting fed out to the community. So we really appreciate Scott's team over there with Alexa and Reagan. They do a really great job on this weekly newsletter. Can we advance to the next slide, please? Thank you. And then staff updates. We've had lots of changes, lots of help coming in. Obviously myself, we've added Lisa. Now we've got Irene. We've brought John on officially as the head of sales in June. That was really cool. Great to see the momentum that he's kicking off there too. We've now moved Scott, aka Skippy T, to help with the training and the Learn to Earn program. So awesome job with that too, Scott. We appreciate you. And then, just some other staff changes. We had a marketing team for a little bit, decided that didn't work out very well. We've released some contractors, so we can, move on and, excuse me, just find more ways to improve. So lots of staff changes that have improved processes. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so fulfillment updates. This is current stuff now that I'm speaking about. So what we're working hard on now is those block 1 through 4 rewards have already gone out. We've got one happening, should be within the next day or two. We've got the block 5 going out. And then we do have that BlockBot Mini license request. Those are for individuals that are existing accounts. There was a form that went out, which we can post in the chat in just a minute. After I'm done talking, I'll go grab it. But those are for not new accounts. So you've already been around here with Connect in the community, but you've never purchased anything. We are, until July 15th, ready to hand out a BlockBot Mini license to you. So you'd want to make sure you get that submitted. And that's all I have. Probably all I can speak through too.
Thank you for powering through that, Denise. And I want to talk a little bit about, when people come in, sometimes we say they come in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And certain people play certain roles, and then it's time to transition into another department or, whatever else is next up for them. And I want to go back as far as the marketing agencies. When we say it didn't work out, they created a lot of assets for us in a very short period of time. But because, and this is one of the roles that I play, and Trace and I have talked about these, is, we have to look at what's fiduciarily responsible for the community and where we allocate resources. And I would love to bring those agencies back at some point. But what happened is, and you saw this in the numbers, January, February, March, we didn't have the kind of sales that we thought we were going to have. It's now gone incredibly, strategically north, which is what we want. But we had to say, hey guys, let's put this on hold. Let's focus on rolling out these other products to our audience, generate revenues so that we can continue to scale the team. And so those of you who've ever sat in that position where you're making key financial decisions, that sometimes you just have to reallocate resources to the things you think are going to give you the fuel you need to get to the next stage. And so those are some of the decisions that we've had to make. With that being said, one of the areas that we've leaned into as we've grown is community support, and the team here is stellar. I know they've got some exciting announcements of what they're rolling out. So let's turn it over to support.
Hey everyone, it's always fun to be here on these calls with everyone and go over some of our fun community support updates. Scott, if you'll just skip us to the next slide. Thank you. I'm just going to go over a couple of quick tips. Lots of new faces here, lots of new people joining our community, which we're so excited about. So we always want to keep everybody in the know on the best way to get support. And if you have been around a little bit, you might have heard some of these tips and tricks before, but it's always good to have a fun reminder so that we're always able to give you guys the best support that we can. The fastest way to get almost any question answered is by posting it in Connect in the feed. We have an amazing community, lots of really knowledgeable people who want to support the community, who want to help others, and they are always willing to help and answer questions. So that is a great way to ask a question. Another great thing that you can use is our FAQ page, which is at support.connectunited.com. Hundreds of articles there, frequently asked questions, how-tos, videos, step-by-step walkthroughs of everything. So that's another great, fast, easy way to get things answered and to help you understand what it is you're doing as you're coming into this new community and this new awesome, fun opportunity. If you have got a question about your specific Blockbot, about your account, something in there that you're not sure of, the only really reliable way to get technical support for that is to submit a ticket, submit a request through the support site, which we said is support.connectunited.com. That is the best way for us to be able to track your ticket, have our development team look at things if we need to. That's the best way. Sometimes it's really tempting to go through other channels, but really the best way to get technical support is to submit a ticket. Always make sure to use your email associated with your Connect account. If this is about a transaction, a purchase, sending rewards to or from an account, always make sure to include wallet addresses, transaction information, anything that's going to help us be able to respond to you as quickly as possible and research your account. Screenshots of what you're seeing, recordings of what you're seeing, error messages, as much information as you can include will help us to get back to you as quickly as possible. We can skip to the next one. Thank you. Again, this is just error messages that you see, transaction information, as much help as you can give us, we can give you. And then another really important tip is to make sure that you're looking in your email for our responses, even sometimes in your spam or your trash. Not your trash, excuse me, your spam or your other folders. Things will end up there and then you're not able to see our responses. But a lot of our tickets are pending, which means that we have responded to you and we're just waiting for you guys to get back with us with more information so that we can help you guys as quickly as possible. And one more, this is the Support Connect United site, support.connectunited.com. This is where you need to come to look at FAQ articles, search our FAQ library. If you have questions, search here. There's some buckets down there at the bottom, some tabs that you can click on. If you're new to Connect, that new to Connect spot is a great resource. It is how to get started, how to create your account, how to set up your wallet, how to make purchases, get nodes online. If you have questions about boosts or NFTs, there's some sections there for that as well. And then, of course, up at the top, the submit a request. That's where you would go to put in a request if you have a technical question or something with your account that you need help with. And now I think we're on to Lisa.
Thanks, Emily. Great information. I just think this team is fantastic, and I wanted to share a couple of our top updates that we have so far into the year. So as many of you probably saw on Tuesday, how we were integrating a new AI bot that's going to help us answer questions through emails. The great thing about this bot is it can answer questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If it can't give you your answers, it's going to get you in touch with customer support. So don't worry, customer support is here and not going away. We are just moving forward, as Jim has said, and AI is where it's at. So we're really excited about that. One thing that we did this year is reorganize our support team, and now we have 6 dedicated support representatives in Connect, while we're still continuing to assist the other brands. So that's been really exciting to get everybody involved in Connect. And then they are each teaching us about the other brands and what they do, so we can all stay up to date with the information, and any of us can answer any questions about any brand. That's our main goal. Most exciting thing I think for us, I think the AI bot is great, but I'm even more proud of my team for the hard work that they've done this year. So far, support has completed, I put over 14,900, but after today, we're well over 15,000. That is a lot of support tickets that have been answered. And again, you know, we have just 6 people on our team right now. And there were times earlier in the year when it was less than that, but that is a lot of hard work and a lot of questions answered. So just hats off to the customer support team and everything that you're doing.
Awesome. Yeah, this team is amazing, everybody. I hope you all realize that we have a very small but very dedicated and talented team that is just knocking things off the list. You know, we really didn't go into our dev team, which has been mostly Cade and Kelly. We added another person, Shalom, who's been working on some stuff with us. Foundations team is now bringing resources over to Connect because of all the growth that the community's having. And so we're reallocating resources where we see the growth and where it's necessary. So that's the main updates for today. I've got one last thing that we wanted to share. I think you know that we're huge proponents of AI, and I think unless you've been under a rock the last year, it's impossible to ignore the impact that AI is already having on industry after industry. And I think we've just seen the tip of the iceberg. Matter of fact, you may see this shirt. I don't know if you guys can you guys see the back of my shirt and what it says on here? I know this is kind of weird to stand up and show my backside. All right, but it says impact. All right. And impact can mean anything to anybody. I think one of the greatest impacts we're going to see on all of our lives is how we start to educate ourselves on AI and we implement AI into our lives and businesses, right? And so I'm going to share with you what we shared at Fort Lauderdale. This will be the last thing that we share today. And then Trace, I don't know if you want to come on and say anything as we close up, but we were showing how Blockbot and your digital you is going to start to transform our lives. And type into the chat if you can. This is a shirt, by the way, that we gave out at the Fort Lauderdale Momentum Live event. So you got to be there if you want to get this kind of cool swag. But one of the things we said is you know, if you've ever used ChatGPT voice, where instead of typing and texting, you start talking to ChatGPT, and then that ends up becoming a relationship that you have, right? It becomes an experience. And I'm going to take my AirPods off because I'm going to play a message that I have to do through the computer. But type into the chat if you've ever used ChatGPT voice, and within a couple of minutes, you feel like you're having a conversation with a human or somebody that you build a connection with. Type that into the chat. Type connection if you have. All right, so I see some yeses in here. I see connection in here. Hopefully you can hear me. Some saying no. All right, and Greg says, yeah, I love it. Whether you use ChatGPT or Grok or any of these that have voice. So we said, what if we could take your digital you and your Blockbot and build a relationship where your Blockbot knows about you, but you own the data. Instead of Sam Altman and Bill Gates and Tim Cook, who are the ones who are most heavily invested in OpenAI and ChatGPT, or even Elon Musk. You may love him, you may hate him, whatever, but Grok is their product. It's not your product. But we want to own our own AI. We want to own the large language model, and we want to own the private language model. So we sit on stage and we showed a mock-up demo, and I'm about to show that to everybody here. Who would like to see that, by the way? If you'd like to see what we shared down in Fort Lauderdale and kind of play a little game with us here, type into the chat. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share a screen, and I'm going to do kind of a reenactment, if you will, of that. And this is what we did on stage. So if you've ever heard of a wake up command, for example, if you were to say, hey Siri, your phone would wake up and it activates the AI for your iPhone. If you're to say, hey, Google, it activates or wakes up your phone and it brings forward their AI. So we're going to build our own activation, right? A wake up command called Hey You, right? So you'll say, Hey You, and it'll activate your digital you and your BlockBot AI. First off, does that make sense? Is everybody excited about that? So you literally say, Hey You, and it'll pull your own AI forward from your phone or your computer, or Alexa is another example. Yeah, Greg, that does Amazon's. Okay, so here's what we did on stage, and I'm gonna enact this if I can, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this. All right, so I stood on stage and I said, Hey You, I'm here with a friend of mine, and we're super excited about the BlockBot Mini. Give me the top 3 key points of BlockBot Mini. And then I played this. Let me know if you can hear this.
Absolutely. First off, the BlockBot Mini gives you your own AI-powered blockchain assistant, which is super cool. Second, it helps you unlock digital rewards and start earning right away. And third, it's super easy to use and set up, so you can jump right in and start exploring the world of blockchain without any hassle.
All right, so could you guys hear that? Was that cool? All right, so did you like that? All right, so then I said, all right, Hey You, can you give me an update on my impact blockchain growth overnight?
Sure thing, Jim. Your impact zone grew by 134 people last night, with 45 people coming from Ange Wild in Australia. Would you like me to send a congratulatory note to Ange on your behalf? Or would you like me to look at both of your calendars and book a time to connect?
All right, so how cool is that we can actually use the AI to start to bring forward some of the information, some of the data that's happening on the blockchain, and to coach or guide you into where you should focus. So when I showed you the connection software, we're going to build the AI and the blockchain technology so that it works together, so that you don't have to dig through an algorithm. You don't have to dig through an Excel spreadsheet. You can literally wake up in the morning and have a conversation with BlockBot and your digital you, and it's going to know what's happening in your impact zone, in your blockchain. And so that's the technology that we're working on now. And I see a future where your BlockBot, your digital you, has all of your data. It has your calendar, your contacts, your emails. It has all of your personal data privatized, securitized for you, and it rewards you and humanity for using our blockchain AI. All right. So think about this. If ChatGPT can charge $20 a month for you to use their AI, right? And Grok has their fee, and all these have their fees. If you were to pay the same exact amount, let's say it's $20 a month, or the consumers paid $20 a month, but the AI was owned by them, wasn't owned by investors, it wasn't owned by somebody else. We own our own data. We own our AI. And if it's the same price, has the same exact value or experience, but you and everybody else is earning digital rewards for making the AI smarter, for owning that data, I think we've got an opportunity to not only disrupt social media, I think we've got an opportunity to disrupt the AI industry. So 2 of the largest industries on the planet for market cap right now are social media. Think Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? All of the platforms that people are dumping their data into and getting no reward from it other than connecting with people. Well, we can connect them with people. They can own the data, and they can actually own the platform. So that's one massive industry. The second, and getting no. But what we have as an advantage that nobody else does is AI connected to the blockchain. Nobody in the world has that. So we're not actually competing with them. We can actually bring all their platforms, if we want, connected to our blockchain. Or as Larry's asking, can we develop our own LLM, our own large language model? And the short answer is yes. We're already looking at open source LLMs. We've identified 2 or 3 of them. We're looking at how to integrate those. And we'll, like we always do, we want to start with existing technology that's already proven out. And then we want to bring that in-house so that we own it, we guide it, we control it, and we reward people for using it. And then underneath that LLM will be a PLM, something we're calling a private language model. Your data, You control it. You could even go back in the code and see what is it programming you for? What are the rules and values and beliefs that your AI is learning about you? And if you want to upgrade that or change it, you have the capability to do that. So our calendars, our contacts, our health data. Final piece, and I'll turn it to Trace here, is that I see a world where my BlockBot, my digital you, wakes me up and says, hey, Jim, it looks like you slept really well last night. You got a sleep score of 9. By the way, would you like to know what else is going on? So we're heading into a world where we're going to own and operate the blockchains for the largest industries on the planet and be able to steer and disrupt those industries into a place that's good for everybody, not just a handful of people. So Trace, my friend, anything you want to share as we wrap up here?
Yeah, it's about time to wrap up. But because of these questions, I just wanted to kind of mention our strategy is not to build some massive team of AI developers and try to like compete with like AI, OpenAI, and all these like ridiculous like things. They're putting so much money and so much development, and a lot of open source stuff is coming up. We like to take something that's existing, even with the Connect Social Impact platform. We didn't want to like build up and try to build a team like Facebook has. It's like, we'll take something that's existing, we'll launch it inside of the community, we'll find out what works and what we like, and then we're just going to recode all of our own stuff. And then what we want to do eventually is host it on our own decentralized, community-owned servers. And so, you know, we'll be talking more and more about that. But right now we're in the product development and testing phase, and then we're taking the stuff we're learning, we're starting to build our own versions of everything. So we'll launch with something that exists in the market. We'll use it as a community. The personalized stuff is going to be the coolest, Jim. Like the fact that you can take an AI, put your own data that you own into it, and then it can give you recommendations and kind of guide you and help you do things. That's going to be super valuable and fun for the community to use. And then what we'll do is, as we kind of go down the road a little bit further, we'll take full ownership of code. We'll take full ownership of hosting and all that kind of stuff, so that the community actually does own and control the entire thing, like soup to nuts. But it's more of a journey than it is like just one big event. Just look at it as kind of like a process, and we'll bring everybody along for the whole thing, and community members will pop up and help and support in different ways. It's really fun. So
awesome. Thank you, Trace, for summarizing that. And, you know, it's hard for me to believe I've only been here 14 months because it feels like we've done so much in a short period of time. But really, the last few months, you can tell we've started to hit our stride. We built a foundation, and now we can just continue to build on top of that. So final request from the community is this. We love how engaged you all are. Like, this really brings the energy. It brings the momentum. What we need right now is to continue to invite people and do give show and tells. Invite them in through the social impact platform. Let's grow our impact. And then give them wallets, give them BlockBot minis, give them access to the world's first social impact platform. And let's grow this community, because very soon we're going to pop above the radar. We're still just beneath the radar right now, but very soon we're going to pop above the radar, and it's going to get really fun and really exciting. And we believe that this community is positioned to make the greatest impact that humanity's ever seen. That's what we're building out here. So on behalf of myself, Trace, the rest of the team here, and the ones you didn't get a chance to hear from today, we just want to say thank you for all of your contributions. Let's go out and invite people to the blockchain. Let's get them to own BlockBots. Let's introduce them to our impact brand partners, and let's be the people who are transforming humanity for better. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the team, until we connect again, have fun. And remember, it's your choice to create your ultimate life. Game on. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.